On the news tonight, South-South Tourism Stakeholders Meeting focuses on repositioning tourism and hospitality industry. 99th inaugural lecture of University of Calabar highlights solutions to food insecurity in Nigeria. Plus, solar power generation identifies as permanent solution to Nigeria's epileptic power supply. Details shortly. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Uduak Etam. The Petroleum Industry Act seeks to increase the injustice suffered by the people of Cross River State over the years. Paul Ebel has details of that report.
The law failed to address the concerns of the state, despite the presentation it made to the relevant Senate committee. Governor Ayade says the committee on PIB toured around the state, but failed to mirror the grievances of Cross River State in the law. The governor described as insensitive a situation where no provision is made for oil-impacted communities.
Cross River State receives the brunt of production, but today the PIB is signed into law insensitive to the oil-impacted communities for which Cross River State belongs. Under the same PIB, 20% of the revenue is set aside for frontier exploration. Luckily, the Calabar Basin, which they refuse to recognize in that classic language, which stretches from all the Mamfe basins, comes across the whole of Bakassi, Biase, Odupani, Okuni, Ogoja, Iyala, heavily impregnated with hydrocarbon anomalies, whose geo-coordinates have been issued by myself since 2016 to the federal government. Today we watch and see how the 20% originating from setting aside for frontier exploration. Let's see what will happen to the Calabar Basin.
Ayade expressed lack of faith in other federal government committees that may want to conduct similar exercises in the state. In Calabar, Paul Abel, Nta News.
The need to revamp the tourism and hospitality industry in Nigeria through the use of digital technology is paramount, especially in the era of COVID-19 and amidst security challenges. Director General Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation Foronsho Koka, who said this while stressing need to boost domestic tourism at the South-South Stakeholders Meeting held in Calabar, is also encouraging the growth of the business. The reports. The tourism and hospitality industry in Nigeria and the global community have in recent times suffered setbacks as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. In spite of the global impact, the resilience of the operators in the industry prompted an operational shift, hence the hosting of the South-South Stakeholders Forum.
So this meeting was a platform to bring us together, to enlighten us on how to, key into what the digital space is providing.
The use of technology to boost business, especially in the tourism industry, is very, very apt.
With the theme, the use of digital technology to revamp the tourism and hospitality industry amidst COVID-19 and security challenges in Nigeria. The Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation says this transformation to use digital technology as an innovation will open new opportunities for tourism business in the country to compete in global markets.
As a digital revolution, disruptive technologies are designed to make life easier for us in every aspect of life. I'm certain there's going to be a post-pandemic boom in Nigerian domestic tourism.
It is therefore certain that stakeholders and all the sector professionals will take the advantage of this meeting to come out with workable and practical solutions.
It may interest you to know that with the introduction of digital technology, high-value services are being delivered in the industry.
There were paper presentations in line with the theme of discussion, and plenary sessions where productivity in enhancing technologies were suggested for the repositioning of the sector. Certificates of operations were given to some hotel owners
in Cross River State. In Calabar.
Joining me in the studio now is the Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, Chief Folorunsho Koka. Sir, you're welcome to Nta Calabar studio, and we are happy to have you as our guest.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
The Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, is here in the studio to talk about the just concluded stakeholders meeting and the Nigerian flavor that is ongoing right now in the city of Calabar. So let's just begin with the stakeholders meeting before we get to the Nigerian flavors. What really prompted the hosting of this meeting here in Calabar, and why Calabar, Cross River State, being the choice?
Post-pandemic, tourism has suffered immensely, and there was a need for the government agencies to speak to the stakeholders in the different ecosystems to find out what their problems were. We chose Calabar because Calabar is known to be the home of tourism, and we felt we better start here. We had one in Jos, but we thought it was important that we came quickly to Calabar. We are here to point out the benefits of technology in accelerating recovery, especially in this sort of post-disaster, post-pandemic era. I want to break it down to the simplest levels. Remember the days where we used to stand on the road and hail a taxi, and the taxi would give us a price that we would refuse, and that taxi would go. A disruptive technology called Bolt and Uber came in, where you don't need to talk to anybody. You can tell the driver your destination, you can fix the price, you can either pick up goods and bring to you, or you can go from A to B. That is technology making life easier and impacting a business. A few months ago, I was at the marina and I observed a small business. I introduced that small business to one of the social media platforms, and I said, what you produce, would you please photograph it, open an account, and see what technology does. Now you have riders coming from around Calabar to buy products from this individual. The only way we can really play catch-up is using the disruptive technologies. And I would make a few examples. Yesterday, Transcorp launched a new app called Aura, which is going to be part of a new chain of hotels they have. Now, Aura, again, is a platform that allows you to sell from a pot of Edika icon that you're a specialist at making, to a room for rent in your house, to the whole house if you want to sell it. It is a completely domestic platform to Nigeria, and it is encouraging trade. Not just trade, but also travel. The crux of it is that it's always been tourism and travel, but there's a third T now, and that's the technology that drives this tourism.
Oh, okay, sir. Since you've mentioned this digital technology, what are those digital technologies, those equipment that we are expected to be found in hotels?
COVID is saying touchless. Tourism is a lot of touchy-feely, restaurant, spas, etc. Can those things now go on with the protocols that we're supposed to adhere to? For example, the key to your hotel room. What does it contain that your phone doesn't contain? Bookings of hotels. Bookings for airlines. I don't know the last time I held an airline ticket in my hand. It's always in a telephone. And of course, congratulations on Cali Air. They're doing well.
Thank you.
Ordering services. We have to take a decision here where do we allow technology to make life more convenient for us, threatening human employment? Or do we find a balance, especially in a place where we have such a heavy population? How do we find that balance? NCDC, for example, in another couple of weeks, we have a hackathon where we have invited some of the best brains around the country to come to Lagos. There are these young boys that develop these applications, these solutions that they sell for billions to foreign companies. But we are looking for solutions to our own domestic tourism problems in terms of sharing what we have with the people who are looking for it and how best they can exchange money for the goods and services in a safe ecosystem.
Okay, let's just talk about the resolutions or recommendations from the meeting, the just concluded meeting of yesterday. What are those recommendations that people had?
One, this is the time for us to collaborate, not to compete. It is in collaborating that we will survive, we will ensure our survival in all the value chains of tourism. There is a need for us to speak with one voice. There is a need for us to look at the laws, and I say the laws being the regulatory, the taxation of the tourism industry. We are also looking for, I think the phrase we used was single-digit interest rates in financing for the tourism sector. And we all now understand that there is a need for human capital development in terms of training, that people need to be trained to deliver a better service within the hospitality industry.
Okay, how do you hope to make some of these resolutions work, especially in this COVID-19 era, coupled with security challenges in this country?
There's no country that doesn't have security challenges. There are countries that have security problems that are worse than ours. I'm happy that I'm a Nigerian and I'm not in Afghanistan. So we have 6 states out of 36 states that have a few issues. Should we stop work in the rest of the 30 states? No. Let's make the best of what we can. The last unpleasant thing that happened, I think, here in Calabar was, I think, NSAS. I can see some signs of it here in your studios as well. Should we now just focus on the fact that there was this incident and not get on with enjoying the food of Cross River, the fashion of Cross River, the music of Cross River, the film, so many things that are Cross Riverian, that are so beautiful, are lying fallow, your marina. So this is the call to Cross Riverians to wake up and, no matter what it is, make the best of what you have, use.
Okay, let's talk a little about the Nigerian flavors, because a lot of people who are watching us now don't even understand what the Nigerian flavor is all about, and you are here to shed more light on that aspect.
Yes, okay, we have a master brand in Nigerian tourism called Tour Nigeria. And it's a simple thing like Malaysia, Truly Asia, Incredible India, nothing great, Tour Nigeria. Tour Nigeria means go around Nigeria, but if you can't go around Nigeria, go around your state. There are many flavors within Cross River alone itself. I mean, today I've been to 2 markets, Marian and Watts Market, and I thoroughly enjoyed the markets. Nigerian flavors, various flavors of Nigeria. Tour Nigeria and enjoy the flavors of Nigeria. Now, what we're doing here today is Nigerian flavors. And Nigerian flavors is just we've just called all local businesses, all local artists, all local goods and suppliers to come to the marina that isn't fully utilized, and to say, Cross Riverians, please come to the marina and enjoy the beautiful things that you have homegrown, that are domestic to you. And we're hoping to leave that brand here for you to continue to use. It's at the Calabar Marina. It starts tonight. It's on now. It will probably go on tomorrow from about 10 o'clock in the morning till maybe 10 p.m. in the evening. It's child-friendly. It's got traditional dancers. It's got all your different wonderful delicacies. There's a fashion show. I think there's even a beauty contest going on right now as well. So it's all the things that are domestic to you. Look, let me put it this way. It's like cooking a good pot of stew. If all the ingredients are lying around here and you don't put them into the pot and light the fire, we can't eat, can we?
All right, thank you very much, sir. I think we have gotten to the end of the discussion, because if I want to give you time, you will talk to you. So we are very much happy, sir, for being our guest, and we'd love to have you here anytime, any moment to come and talk. It may not be on this particular issue, but maybe on national issue or some other thing next time. Thank you very much for being our guest, and we'd love to have you back. Thank you.
Delighted to be here.
Thank you very much, sir. In case you are just joining us, we were talking with the Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, Chief Olonsho Kuka. And that is it for now. Our guest has just spoke about the stakeholders meeting they had yesterday, and that of the Nigerian flavor, and I believe you had a very good time with him. Thank you very much, sir. And moving on to our news, the Cross River State government is decrying its inability to withdraw funds from the Heritage Bank to service ongoing developmental projects in the state. The state government, led by the Ministry of Aviation, having exhausted necessary negotiations, embarked on a peaceful protest to the bank in Calabar. Paul Ebel has details of that report.
The Cross River State government transacts with the Heritage Bank to fund some of its projects, such as Cross River Airline, Cali Air, and the Obudu International Passenger and Cargo Airport. There is an urgent need of its funds, custodied by the bank, to meet desperate needs, begging for attention, but there is a challenge. And the state government says for over 2 weeks now, it has applied to withdraw its funds to renew insurance for Cali Air, which expires this week. But that withdrawal has been unsuccessful. The government, through the Commissioner for Aviation, Jake Otuenya, says the bank, during previous meetings with the states, asked the states to take action if it fails to pay before now. And this is the protest in response to the bank's failure to meet the terms agreed upon.
Behold, we have our money. We are not coming here to the bank to give us loan or credit facilities. We are only coming that our money with them, they should allow us, give it back to us. We are not even withdrawing all. And yet, this is today 2 weeks. And so we cannot sit back. We cannot sit back in the comfort of our office when by tomorrow we are going to put the entire face of Cross River State in the mud. By tomorrow, our aircraft is grounded and we are subjected to public ridicule. They are not going to be, in fact, we close down the bank because they will not be able to pay the damage we are going to claim from them.
Attempts to speak to the management of the bank were unsuccessful. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Finding solutions to food insecurity in Nigeria requires farming, including a grazing ruminant system that will not only feed the world sustainably, but also provide important environmental and societal benefits. These resonated at the 99th inaugural lecture of the University of Calabar, which focuses on justifiable, easy solutions onto sustainability, where governments have been called upon to pursue a food strategy by reserving prime agricultural land for growing human food, as well as engaging in persons, people, and population system for sustainable results.
Agriculture is a key sector in Nigeria's long-term food security plan, as it has been an area with potential both in crops and animal farming. With current policies of the federal government aimed at making the agricultural sector a viable base of the economy, these agricultural experts say infrastructural changes are expected to boost the sector and set the stage for future investments. This was at the 99th inaugural lecture in the University of Calabar, where the presenter and professor of ruminant nutrition, Department of Animal Science, Ayoko Saji, speaks on the theme, Justifiable Easy Solutions onto Sustainability and the Food Need.
We must do things differently so we can improve our agricultural processes. So if we change the things, increase the productivity of our processes, we can have more food.
The university done, who highlights several approaches for achieving sustainability and the food need, such as limiting food losses and waste, eating more plant-based food, pointing out that healthy animals are productive and produce healthy and nutritious food.
If we change our ways of life, we'll have enough food on the table and everybody will be happy.
I want to implore Nigerians, we must go back to farm. Our little corners in our homes, we can use them to grow. We can do homegrown agriculture.
With Nigeria showing its strong ambition in accelerating agriculture for large-scale production and food sufficiency, there is hope that with the political will and fundamental investment in research and development, Nigeria's efforts in agriculture advancement will be attained. In Calabar.
You're still watching Nta Calabar News at 7. You can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Nta Calabar. Cross River State Primary Healthcare Development Agency Bill 2021, which seeks to, among other functions, ensure effective implementation and supervision of all primary health activities in the state, has been passed into law. The bill, sponsored by the Ekwe Basi, member representing Bakassi State constituency, was passed during plenary on the floor of the House. Maureen Liu Ajom has more.
The sponsor of the Cross River State Primary Healthcare Development Agency Bill 2021 says the bill basically seeks to create a legal framework for the traditional birth attendants and faith-based organizations to promote maternal healthcare service delivery.
This bill actually is trying to provide sanction for those that are frustrating the efforts of government in ensuring that every child has immunization against the killer diseases.
Co-sponsors of the bill, speaking in support, stressed the important role of traditional birth attendants, especially in the absence of a government health facility or doctors to attend to pregnant women during delivery. Hence, the need for collaboration with the Primary Healthcare Development Agency in achieving effective maternal health care in the state.
The bill has also properly spelled out the role of the caregiver. The role of the caregiver is very important. First and foremost, the caregiver has to be a very qualified primary health care officer.
The Speaker, Ethan Williams, commended the approach adopted by the Special Committee of the House to in-depthly appraise the bill. Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has presented some relief material to Zamfara State Government for distribution to victims of resurgent banditry in the state. The materials, comprising foodstuffs and clothes, were delivered by delegation from the ministry on behalf of the Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk. Jamila Ibrahim has more.
The recent resurgent banditry in some local government areas of Zamfara State has resulted in the internal displacement of many persons, especially women and children. This prompted the Federal Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to donate some relief materials to Zamfara State Government for onward distribution to the IDPs. The relief materials, comprising assorted foodstuffs and clothes, were presented by the Special Advisor to the President on Humanitarian Affairs on behalf of the Minister Sadia Umar Farouk.
Already you have had another office which is under the ministry, that's the Commission for the Refugees, is also here. There is also NEMA, that is also here, providing additional support.
Zamfara State Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Faika Ahmad, applauded the minister for the prompt response to the plight of the victims. Faika, who noted that Zamfara State is suffering from both armed banditry and natural disasters such as flood, made a case for an increased support to the IDPs across the state.
Presently, we have 184,000 head of households, internally displaced persons to be exact, amounting to over 600,000 women and children inclusive.
The relief materials, comprising 1,200 bags of 25 kg rice, 40 jerrycans of 25 liters of vegetable oil, and 100 bales of fairly used clothes, are to be distributed to the IDPs in Gusau, Bungudu, and Safe local government areas, which appear to be the worst hit by the resurgent banditry in the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Solar power generation has been identified as capable of providing permanent solution to Nigeria's epileptic power supply. An expert in alternative power solution, Kenston Mkpoko, gave this insight while providing answers on the way out of power shortage in the country. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Given the numerous problems faced by Nigerians in the hands of power distribution companies, ranging from lack of adequate power supply to outrageous bills, government at all levels have continued to find permanent solutions to power insufficiency in the country to bring to an end the many problems associated with the lack of adequate power supply, which will also help in reducing the cost of several commodities, create more job opportunities and boost economic activities across the country.
That for 2 weeks, sometimes we will not have light for complete 2 weeks, and they will bring 9,000 something, 10,000.
I cannot stay in 2-bedroom flat and I will be paying a sum of 10,000 naira at the end of the month.
And you disconnect me with the one I paid 5,000, 6,000. They will use that medium and fight you, bring boys to come and fight you.
To bring to an end the lingering problems associated with the power, experts say solar has what it takes if the best hands are given the mandate to get it done.
Because
to end the news, a recap of our major stories. South-South Tourism Stakeholders Meeting held in Calabar with focus on repositioning the tourism and hospitality industry for enhanced productivity. The 99th inaugural lecture of the University of Calabar identified solutions to food insecurity in the country to include farming with a grazing ruminant system. Also in the news, an expert in alternative power solution has posited that solar power generation is capable of providing permanent solution to the country's epileptic power supply. That is it on our news tonight. Thanks for watching and do have a lovely weekend. Good night.